Hello and welcome to UWS News. I'm Kevin Cragans.
And I'm Olivia Ogilvie.
Today's top story. Obesity has been a problem in Scotland for 10 years. 1 in 10 children are classed as overweight. Martin Tighe examines how this issue has been tackled in 2016.
In the last decade, 83,000 school children have been obese when they've started primary school. John Garrity, Senior Lecturer of Nursing at UWS Ayr, gave his view on the report.
I'm not surprised people do recognise that nutritional status, as we would say, is a very important aspect of health and the wider aspect of health.
So what is hoped for the next generation of nurses?
The registered nurse students at the end of this programme will be proficient health educators and promoters as well as nurses.
Child obesity in this country is a major issue, but it's not just been left to the governments and schools to deal with alone. Phoebe McDowell plays with Ayr United Ladies and she's been taking rugby out to the kids in the primary schools.
And they go around the primary schools trying to get the kids involved, so during like PE and things they'll do like maybe a 6-week block. They go and do taster sessions and it's like just learn how to pass and get active and things like that. And
so are the kids keen to try the new activity?
Yeah, definitely, and I think at that age as well you're a lot more confident and kids are willing to try things a lot more, so it's really good getting in at that age group at the young level where they're all like, yeah, I'll do that sounds fun, rolling about in the mud and stuff. Like,
the release of today's report may come as an eye-opener for many parents in the country. However, with schemes being put in place through our health service and local sporting clubs, there is optimism for the future. Martin Tighe, UWS News, Ayr.
The killer clown craze is sweeping in the UK and is now in Ayrshire. Ryan McDougall investigates what's being done to prevent these attacks in this exclusive report.
Ayr has apparently fallen victim to the so-called killer clowns, where people dressed up as clowns jump out from behind corners and bushes trying to scare residents. Sometimes they're armed. We spoke to a local theatrical company called M&M Theatrical Productions to find out what their opinion on the matter would be.
I mean, they are just people in costumes, but like people have had weapons and stuff, and it's just like you know, it's like when you go to those like Universal Studio things and people dress up, but the worst thing is you don't know who's under the costume. Like, you know, they're just actors like us, but they could be, it could be a serial killer for all you know, and they've got their motive.
I just think there's potentially a real danger involved where all it's going to take is one accident or for one thing to go wrong, especially if, you know, it's just strangers walking down the street and this is happening to you.
Yeah.
You don't know how people are going to react. You know, the clowns themselves could end up in danger because if they jump out on the wrong person, they could end up, you know, getting injured themselves.
Police Scotland have also spoken out against the latest killer clown craze which has recently hit Ayrshire. Superintendent Linda Jones of the Ayrshire Division said, police are currently carrying out inquiries following a report of 2 teenagers being approached by someone dressed as a clown in the Dean Park area of Kilmarnock on Thursday evening, 6th of October 2016. Ryan McDougall reporting Ayr, UWS News.
Thank you, Ryan. Now to sport. After a disappointing night at Hampden against Lithuania, Scotland take on Slovakia tonight. Gordon Strachan and the Tartan Army are hopeful for a win. Here is Ross Clark with more.
This time, maybe next time, after Scotland's dismal 1-1 draw with Lithuania at Hampden on Saturday night. After a dire first half, Scotland fell behind to a Fedor Černić goal after 59 minutes. Many criticised Strachan's team selection beforehand, with some upset at the absence of Lee Griffiths from the starting lineup. When he did come on, he made an impact, with Scotland eventually able to snatch a point from the jaws of defeat, thanks to an 89th minute equaliser from James MacArthur. However, was a point good enough? We spoke to locals in the seaside town of Ayr to find out their thoughts.
I think Saturday's game really proved what Scotland are all about. A draw. I mean, we missed about 10 chances. It was pretty miserable.
Pretty poor from Scotland. What did you think of Strachan's team selection? He didn't make any changes from the win over Malta. Do you think it was the right thing to do?
He never made any. Again, it depends on the pool that he's got. I mean, he's obviously playing his strongest team, in his opinion, and the coach's opinion. No, there isn't any particular player that I would have opted out to opt one in.
We put Billy Griffiths on from the start. I don't know if he was supposed to play them because he was the match ready or that. He's not had that many games for Celtic, but we put him on.
I mean, I'm actually a Rangers supporter. I can't believe how Lee Griffiths can get a game in that team. You know, it absolutely astounds me with someone who scores so many goals. Okay, it's not high level, but it's the highest level of Scottish football. Can't get a game in Scotland. It just astounds me.
The national team now face the daunting task of getting a result tonight in Slovakia, who only lost one home game in the last qualifying campaign. Will Scotland be the latest team to head to the graveyard?
Confident in so much as that I think if they score one, they'll maybe score two or three. But I think they'll maybe score first.
It's still really early. It's the third game and still second in the table, so a win would be good.
Beat by at least 1 or 2 goals.
So who knows what tonight's game holds for Gordon Strachan's men? One thing's for certain, the Tartan Army will be in full voice in Turneva. Maybe this time we can get a result.
St Mirren fans hope that they have found the right man to lead them. After his last match with Alloa at the weekend, Jack Ross has now taken over at the Buddies. Kieran Muir speaks to the supporters.
St Mirren play Dundee United here at the Paisley 2021 Stadium on Saturday in what will be Jack Ross's first game in charge of the Buddies. And despite being bottom of the Scottish Championship, St Mirren fans are confident he's the man to get them out of troubles. Saints fan Scott Cowan says that Saturday's game will provide a good test for the new manager.
We'll get an idea of what kind of team he's going to pick, who he thinks are the best players and to put on the pitch, and if we can just get a result, then that would be a good start.
The appointment came just days before the Buddies beat Hibs at Easter Road in the previous round, and Scott says that Ross is a good appointment.
Favourite for the job, one of the favourites for the job when Alex Ray left, so yeah, it's a good appointment. Hopefully him and James Fowler will do well.
So as a new era begins again at St Mirren, the new manager Jack Ross will be happy to have the backing of the St Mirren supporters. Kieran Muir, UWS News, Paisley.
Thanks, Kieran.
Thanks for joining us here at UWS Newsroom.
Tune in next time. Good night.
Good night.